I chose to talk about PBIS, positive discipline for special populations. So we're going to talk about three things. What is PBIS? Implementing PBIS at the classroom level, as it can be district-wide or school-wide. I chose to focus on the classroom. And PBIS in relation to special populations specifically. So what is PBIS? PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Support. This is a three-tiered framework that focuses on positive behavior interventions and systems with the goal of important behavior changes. Tier 1 being centered around teaching social skills, and this applies to all students within the classroom, no matter the degree of which they need it. Tier 2 is where the teacher is going to create scenarios where the students can practice the social skills that they learned in Tier 1. And Tier 3 is where faculty and teachers are going to create behavioral support plans for students in need. So these are going to be your students that need that extra specific intensified behavioral support. Implementing PBIS at the classroom level can be an effective and essential addition to the student's classroom experience. But implementing it requires three foundational elements: evidence-based practices, systems to support classroom PBIS implementation, and data to guide decision-making about implementing PBIS within the classroom. And although there are three tiers, there are certain strategies that work for all students at any tier. It doesn't matter the student, doesn't matter what tier they're at, such as effectively designing your classroom, predictable classroom routines, classroom expectations, prompts, and active supervision, varied opportunities to respond, which is especially good for ELLs, and acknowledgments for expected behavior. So now we're going to talk about PBIS in relation to special populations specifically. So PBIS is most closely related with your special education students, as it was created as an alternative to past interventions used with your SPED students. This framework, if done correctly, can lower the amount of students referred to your special education programs. So in regards to other special populations, such as ELLs and students of other cultural backgrounds not considered the norm, there is modifications to PBIS that are currently in the making, known as CR-PBIS or culturally responsive PBIS. This model focuses on three main areas of practice: collaborating with families and communities, monitoring disproportionality in ODRs between dominant and non-dominant cultural groups through the analysis of data across student demographic characteristics, and providing professional development aimed at increasing practitioners' awareness of differences between their own culture and non-dominant cultures, such as cultural patterns of communication styles, roles of authority, things like that. And like how to handle those situations correctly. So that way we don't have as many behavioral issues. So as in one culture, what can be seen as a sign of respect, in another culture may be seen as a sign of disrespect, and you don't want your teacher, or you don't want the teacher to punish a student for being disrespectful when that wasn't his intention, because that's not what's seen as being disrespectful in that student's culture. So CR-PBIS stresses the importance of student-centered learning because it gives them the opportunity to interact with other students and create solutions to problems without the teacher looking over them and without the students looking to the teacher for approval or corrections from the teacher. So it's a low-stress environment that lets them learn with their peers. So by integrating CR-PBIS within our schools and within our classrooms, we can further the effect of positive discipline on special populations.